Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we will be starting off with episode 1 of Building with Dan. Now, Building with Dan is basically just a series on YouTube where I just post a bunch of cool LEGO builds I make. And these guys are, of course, the first ones I'm posting. Now, technically, you could say that this is Building with Dan number 5, since I have made 4 other LEGO videos before, but I'm choosing to start the series now with these micro builds. Speaking of which, I let you guys name them on my community post, and I got a bunch of great names, specifically from one dude whose channel I will link in the description, because they made some really good names. Now, this is my sort of Autobot team of 5. We, of course, have our leader, the scout, the second-in-command, aka the war-ready dude, the comic relief, and, of course, the old medic. And they all have some really good names I'd like to show off. But first, before we get to all the other guys, let's start off with the leader. Now, his name is Smokestack, and he's kind of like an Optimus Prime. He's a gray and white Peterbilt. I might try to make him all white later on, so expect a bit of an update in case I ever do make an update to these guys. But, yeah, he's just a neat little compact truck, and his transformation is really simple. We're first going to move the arms, but only like this. Then we will turn his head around, move down his legs, turn them over, and flip down his arms. And, done. There's your little, Smokestack, his name is. And, Smokestack is pretty darn cute. I used the, Synthetic Mason, Bumblebee Optimus technique for some parts here. But, yeah, he's just a cute little truck dude, cute little leader, really nice guy. But let's get on with Motorway. Now, Motorway is the smallest one of the group. He's really small, really tiny. He's a Cybertronian motorbike. I'm not making him big like Bumblebee. That would seem a bit too TF1 ripoff. So I just made him. He's actually the first one I made out of all of these guys I've showed you right here. And he's probably one of my favorite ones. Now, his transformation is very simple. We're going to lift up his arms, make sure they don't pop off. Go to the bottom, we're going to rotate this part here, and now what we will do is we will make sure this is straight, and now we can flip the arms down, but not all the way. And, yeah, cute little Motorway in his robot mode. There's not really much to say, so let's just move on with Slink. So Slink here is a 1980s Corvette. He's, of course, a green one, and doesn't really look much like one. But I just thought of it being a Corvette because, well, why not? And I actually really like this guy. His robot mode is a lot more defined and detailed than you might expect. Speaking of which, to transform him, we're going to move down his legs, bring down his arms, move down his head just to give it some depth. And, yeah, there's our little, shell former in his robot mode. And yeah, as you can see, it's basically just the entire car mode on his back. Like I said, he's a shell former. Didn't plan on him being like that. It's just some idea I had that turned up into this. But that's enough with Slink. Let's move on with Rust Bucket. Now, Rust Bucket has the most convincing alt mode I have made. He turns into some sort of like 1960s Camaro, which is why I added these. He's supposed to be the older medic of the group, so he's like a rusty old man, or a rusty old car, or whatever. But, yeah, I actually dig this design a lot, and I think it really fits the character for him. Now, to transform him, we're just going to flip down the front, turn the head, move the legs forward like this, and move the back down. And now, here he is, with a cool little backpack. And I imagine Rust Bucket's backpack being, like, sort of where he'd keep all of his gadgets and supplies just on his back. I also hunched him over just so that he would appear, like, smaller or more disheveled. But you could also just sort of stand him up like this. Have him resting on his backpack. That's enough for Rust Bucket. Let's move on to Zarak. Now, Zarak here is a NASA space shuttle. He is a Decepticon traitor who was abused by Megatron and chose to join the Autobot force because he believed that the Autobots had a better cause. And, yeah, he's just a cute little spacecraft. And his transformation is not that hard either. It's, just gonna move these out here, we are going to move his legs out. As you can see, there's Zarak in his robot mode. I don't know why, he just kind of looks like a tiny little penguin or whatever. Just some really cute look to him. Now, I imagine this is like the basic secret look, just like a large one-eyed transformer. Obviously does not look like a brick. That is just an unintentional thing that ended up happening, sadly. But yeah, I really dig this guy's design. And now let's get to the group shot of all these dudes together in one photo. And here they all are in their robot modes. We have Smokestack, the leader, and heroic Optimus Prime-like dude. We have Motorway, the cute and sometimes funny Scout. We have Zarak, the serious Ironhide of the group. We have Rust Bucket, the medic and old man of the group. And of course, we've got Slink, the comic relief or the Mirage of the group. And if you guys are wondering, yes, I built Decepticons, and I love the designs I gave them. I will make a video on those guys too, once I get full names for all of them. But for now, I'm going to add a bit of a how to build segment into this video, just because I want you guys to own some of these guys. Obviously, I will not be adding one for Motorway. You can pretty much tell which pieces he uses just by looking at him. You know what? I'll probably make a tutorial for him, actually. So here are the instructions for Smokestack. I'm going to give you guys a second just to pause the video so you can collect the pieces needed to building Smokestack. You done? Alright. First, we're going to take these two pieces and we're going to move them together so that we can add these two to make sure they're connected. Next, we are going to take these white pieces and we're going to move them right here. So then now we have the front half of Smokestack. Next, what you're going to do is you are going to put this here, and add this here. We are going to give him this, and place this here. And now we're going to add it onto the lower side of him, just like so. And now we're going to put this on. Yeah, there's your tutorial for Smokestack. Now let's get on to Motorway. Now, Motorway is, of course, very simple to build. You're just going to place this right here. Same here. I gave him different colored arms, just because I thought it would look a bit cool to show, like, he's a bit of asymmetrical painting or whatever, to give him more of a motorcycle style, or motorbike style. Anyways, we're going to add his little light at the front, and then, what would be the wheels, but, I don't have any black versions of these pieces. But, yeah, there's your tiny little Motorway. Really small dude. Very easy to build. I'm pretty sure you guys probably already have your own copy of him. But yeah, he's really, like, remoldable. You can make a bunch of new molds with him. You can make a bunch of other ideas with him. Like, right now, this could also look like a robot as well. But, yeah, that's your little Motorway. So let's get to building Slink. Now, Slink was the hardest one to remember due to his certain body kit size. But I believe I have sort of mastered building him. Anyways, we're going to add his little arms / lights. Now we're going to get on with adding the head. Put this here, make sure it's straight, and then place his little hat on top. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this here, and add this spoiler. And, yeah. And now, for this part, we're going to add this piece right here, this piece too, and we're going to place this here, and then the front top roof. And, yeah, there's little Slink. I'm pretty sure I made a bunch of mistakes recording this, but I don't care because he's finally built. Alright, so here we have Rust Bucket so far. Well, he's dismantled. Let's get to building him. Now, we're going to add these parts to the roof, like so. And then we're going to place these parts right here. Gonna add this, place this here. Now, I just gotta put this guy right here. Now, I'm going to add this on right here. Place this, add this. Make sure this is put on here, and not put it on facing this way, That's gonna look like a spoiler, but in fact, the other way. And yeah, there's your little rust bucket. And here is Zarak. Let's get to building him. Now, Zarak is of course harder to build because these pieces aren't really common anymore, so it's very rare to find them. You'll probably be able to find them somewhere on Bricklink. But anyways, let's keep building. So we're going to add this here. We're going to put these legs on these little feet parts. Now, the reason why the legs are like yellowish is because I imagine that they will be like the cockpit of the NASA spacecraft. Now, obviously, it's way too small to make something, and I was thinking of another idea to build this guy, but I sadly did not have the parts count to do it, and I don't really want to use my money to buy more, so I just ended up going with this guy, but I actually like him a lot more than what the original would have looked like. But, yeah, there's your little Zarak.